All right, so in a previous video, I showed a basic use of the Manual J spreadsheet and software. What I've got here is actually just from a simple Google search for house floor plan. I came across this website called thehousedesigners.com, and they've got here this two-story floor plan. So we're actually going to treat this as a single story, okay, for now. The software certainly can handle two stories. For now, we'll just treat this as a single story. All right, let's use this, and we'll head into the Wrightsoft software, and we will start to incorporate this floor plan, and we'll see if it talks about details of the home, like building materials, etc. All right, let's get into it. So let's go over to the drawing area. We had this from before. We're going to highlight everything here, delete all of it. All right, so now let's start with one room. Okay, now we need to specify the building materials for this room, like the wall, the ceiling, floor information, like what the materials are, and the ceiling height. Let's go over to the website and let's see if there's anything about the let's see if they share any information about the building materials. Let's see here. Let's click on features and details, maybe. Okay. We see here, where are we? Living great room ceiling height 11 foot, upper floor ceiling 10 foot, main floor 10 foot. Okay. It's interesting they've got these PDFs for purchase, etc. of the floor plans. I'm looking more for things like what's it made out of. All right, well, anyway, let's just look at these pictures. We see here maybe some wood, some stone, so we've got some windows. All right, let's just get into it. Let's not think about it a little too much. Let's kind of get into it. So we've got here this living room. It says here it's nearly 18 by 18 and a half. Okay, so 7 feet, 10 inches, 17 feet, 10 inches, which is, that's basically 10 feet. All right, 18 feet by 18 and a half. Let's go over here. So first of all, we are going to want to specify the size of this room. So if I hover over it, it says 17 by 16. Let's drag it a little bit. Now it says 18 by 16. We'll drag it down. So we have now 18 by, where are we? 18 by 17. We need to go 18 by 18. The half is, that's not really important. Actually, if we wanted to, we could go in and change the settings to do it in 6-inch increments, but really this is fine. Okay, let's go specify some of the building materials. Let's go to the room. We said we had 10-foot ceilings. Let's do that. Okay, this was a living room. We're going to call it the living room. Okay, yes, it's in the calculations. The heating is done by air only. Okay. Room type, it's other. It's not a kitchen or a bedroom or a garage. Okay. Internal loads. So I didn't get into this before, but this is a living room. There is probably, well, I see here a fireplace. There will probably be, oh, here we go. We got a TV right here. So let's talk about the appliances. Let's click on this. So it's a living room. So we've got some electronic equipment and lighting allowance. This is pretty standard. Click OK. All right. Are there plants? There might be some plants. If you knew for a fact that there would be plants, you would certainly want to include that. Okay. The walls. All right, let's go back to the website. Okay, we got some stone on the outside, maybe some wood. All right, so let's say that let's say the walls are made out of. Let's go over here. So it's a frame construction. We've got. I don't know, let's call it brick. Sure, it's kind of like stone, right? Or stucco, either way. Either one is fine. For sure we have sheathing. It's more of a newer home. It looks like it's going to be a more of like a luxury style home. So they probably have some pretty good insulation, like R13. Okay, interior finish for sure. There's going to be sheetrock on the inside. It's probably 2x6 construction. Okay. I don't think that there might be some exterior board, another layer. Yeah, no interior board for sure. All right. There we go. Now, let's talk about the ceiling. So let's go back to that website. Let's look at some of the pictures. This is probably a California or Arizona, maybe Utah home, or maybe Nevada. So it looks like a flat roof. All right. Yeah. Okay, so you can see the neighboring property has got an angled roof. This does appear to be a flat roof. Okay, and just I can tell from this sort of desert landscape, this probably looks like it's somewhere in either California or Arizona, Utah, Nevada, somewhere in that region. Okay, all right. Let's go back to this room. We can see here that they've got, so it says here covered patio, plus they've got these sliding glass doors. So let's specify that here. So hold on. First, let's finish with the ceiling. So we got flat roof. It's got a membrane. The structure is definitely a wood frame. Okay. Deck insulation. It's probably a thin layer. And then 1/2 inch plywood sheetrock on the inside. Ceiling insulation is probably R30. And then finally the floor. They probably have a crawl space. So we'll go with on or below grade. So exterior, okay. So we've got a wood frame. Structure thickness probably 8-inch. Floor finish is probably tile or hardwood. Exterior insulation. And probably nothing actually. The cavity insulation is probably an R30 under the home, and it's a crawl space. So probably an open crawl space. It's very typical in California. All right, let me see if I can show an image of that real quick. Open crawl space. There we go. So let's look at some of these images. Yeah, these are a lot taller than typical. There we go. This is like a very common, or you'll see here something like this, right? You'll see around the home here. You see like a little opening of some kind, and then you can crawl under there. And these are probably about 8-inch deep or so. Excuse me, my apologies. So I was interrupted, but so I was talking about the crawl space. It's very typical for homes to have crawl space under the home. It's exactly like you see here. There's a man under the home. Okay. Most often they look something like this. Okay, unconditioned, meaning there's no insulation. It's not sealed off from the environment or anything like that. This is a sort of a newer solution where you see things like this where they waterproof them, and you might even see insulation, and they're a little bit more closed off from the environment. So we're going to say in this case though that it's ambient, it's not closed off at all. Okay. And actually we're going to say that actually it doesn't have any cavity insulation. We're going to put some insulation though. Let's leave it as none, actually. All right. That's a more conservative estimate. Okay, so we did wall, ceiling, and floor. Close that. Okay, so if we head over here to the website with the floor plan, we can see right here, this is a sliding door, okay, so that you can go out to the patio. Let's do that. Let's put in a window here. Okay. All right, so now let's get to work on that sliding glass door. Now, it doesn't really matter in this one because they don't seem to indicate, obviously it doesn't matter. This is just an example. They don't tell you which direction is north, but that actually is very important. And in the software, north is always going to be pointing to the top of your screen, right? In this particular example, we'll continue to assume that north is pointing upward, but we do need to pay attention to that. Now let's just guesstimate here that if the room is 18.5 feet wide, I would say this is approximately, the width of this sliding glass door is approximately half, maybe even more. But let's go with half for now, the total room width. So that would mean that it's a 9 3-inch wide sliding glass door. So we're going to make it, let's go with 10 feet. And actually, it's definitely a lot larger than that. Yeah, let's do that. And I'll pull this over one more. Okay. So we can see here, this is a window. If we right click, we pull up the property sheet, construction type. This is going to be a, right here, sliding glass door, double paned, okay? Because it's a newer home. It's possible to triple paint, probably not, it's probably double paned. Frame material, it's usually metal. It could be wood, could be vinyl. It's most likely metal. All right. Width, we'll say it's 13 feet wide. Height, how tall is the door? Well, it's going to be quite tall because it's a glass door, so it's probably, typical would be 6.5 feet or something like that, or 7 feet. All right. Head height means uh, um, the space above the top of the window or door to the ceiling. So we said, let's go back. We said the room is 10-foot ceilings, and we said that the window is 7 feet tall. So that would mean that it should be a 3-foot head height. Okay? We have to keep track of that. That means that there's 3 feet above the top of the door to the top of the ceiling. Everything else is populated automatically. Is there an internal shade? Probably not in this instance. Is there an insect screen? Again, probably not in this particular instance. Okay. Is there an overhang, a horizontal overhang? Well, let's see. So, yes, there is, because there's a patio, right? That means that there's a covered patio. Again, just in case some of you are not familiar with what that is. A covered patio, all right? This is a perfect example right here of a covered patio. In our situation, there would not be a skylight, but why is that relevant to us? Because, see here, there's a window. The window, the room, is not going to get any direct sunlight. Instead, it's indirect sunlight, and therefore the heating load on the room is a lot cooler. So let's go back here, and we're going to say that yes, there is, and it's quite large. So let's go over here. It's 14 foot, nearly 15 foot horizontal overhang. All right. Now let me explore for a second. Is there an option here? No, I can't do something like a patio or something like that. All right. What about this wall? Can I specify that on this wall there is a patio? I cannot. I may be able to. Would be interesting to explore if I add a room. Okay, it's the full width. Right, look over here, you see it's the full width. And then I say that this room is not covered in the calculations. Okay. And basically I'm trying to mimic if this is a patio. I don't think that would work. Well, let's just leave it like for now. Let's get rid of it. All right, let's not be too fancy. Let's bring this up here. We need a room. Okay, so we did our living room. Then we have here a dining room that is right next to our living room. So let's go ahead and add that, and it's 11 by 17. Okay, so we're going to copy this, bring that over here, and switching screens here, I see that it's offset by this appears to be it's probably a 6 foot offset, okay? So each of these boxes, right, from one dot to the other is a foot. So I see a 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to bring it down by 2. There we go. So it's 11 feet long by 17 feet wide. So let's go with that doesn't seem right. Maybe it's the opposite. We're going to make this 11. Yeah, visually that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, okay. So, and then this is our dining room. Dining, just like that. Now here, it is not a sliding glass door, but it is a large window. And they've got a planter of some sorts, okay? And I do see here, they do have an overhang as indicated by these dotted lines. So it's at least a 6 foot, maybe even 8 foot overhang. So we are going to specify that. Oops, sorry, that would be specified in the window. Here we go. So for the window, we are going to say that it's at least a 6 foot, probably 8 foot. Now, this is just a regular window. It is not a sliding door, so it is a double. Is it operable? Maybe. Yeah, it's an operable window. We'll say vinyl wood frame. Okay, and that's a pretty standard. Leave it as is. It's 9 feet wide. How high is it? Well, we don't know from this picture. It's possible we could figure it out. Well, here it is. Here's the planter, right? No, garage. That's the front of the house. So I need a picture from the back of the house. Let's see. Here we go. That's our covered patio with our sliding glass door. This is the dining room. Oh, so that is actually a sliding glass door. Okay, that would make sense. So let's go back and change this. This is also a sliding glass door. It does have the overhang as well. See here, there is an overhang. And it's going to be at least 7 feet, right? Because you have to be able to walk out the door, right? Head height should be 3 feet. All right, let's leave it like that. And then we have a master bedroom, okay? And it's just a little bit set back from this exterior wall of the living room. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's grab this room, copy it, and it is probably about set back by 2 feet, maybe 1 foot, it's hard to tell. Let's go up to 1 foot, okay? And it is a 13.5 by 15. So let's just go with 14 by 15. Okay, and we're gonna call this the master. All right, so we've made a rectangle here for the master bedroom. According to the plans, we see here that there's a sliding glass door over here, and no other, actually, and one more window over here. Oh, and that makes me notice that actually I missed a window here in the living room, so we'll fix that. All right, so we can copy, actually, this sliding glass door from here, and we will drag it right over there. Okay, I could have done that before as well. All right, we're gonna make a window here. Let's set all the properties for the window. Let's just assume it's kind of a regular window. Yeah, head height is fine, width, all of that stuff. Is there an overhang? Yeah, there appears. It's probably a 1 foot or 2 foot overhang. Let's copy that and put this window right over here. All right. Okay, let's go on. We've got this. It's a bathroom. We can see there's a tub and 2 sinks. Okay. Let's head over there. They don't provide us dimensions, but it's, let's say, half the size of the master bedroom. So that's a good estimate, good starting point, right? Let's cut that in half. Okay, visually, I'm looking where this line is right here, this dash line. Yeah, that looks about all right. Okay, so we've got a big window here and another window over here. So let's copy this window. And we're going to drag it over here, and then this one, put it over here. Let's see if we can see any imagery for the side of the house. There's the master bedroom. No, I don't see. Okay. Anyway, we can make some estimations, okay? It's quite a large window. It goes all the way to the corner. If you look over here, you see that. It's probably one of those big, floor to ceiling or nearly floor to ceiling. Let's say it's a 7-foot height. Right, that means again it's going to have 3 feet between the top of the window and the ceiling. Does it have a overhang? It does not. You can see the house ends here. There's no overhang. So no overhang. We put 0. What about on this side? There's a Zen garden. Hard to say if there's an overhang. It doesn't look like it. So let's bring up these properties, the window properties. It's probably a much smaller window. Yeah, so no overhang. It probably does have an insect screen. All right, just leave it. And we'll leave everything as default. Okay, let's move it over because we know that there's going to be, if you look at the pictures, there's a small corner there, right? So we can put that in there like this. Yeah, all right. Even though not really, because this indicates wall, it's really just a pillar. And then there's another room right here, part of this hallway situation. We got a walk-in closet, and this is a hallway that leads to a shower stall, and then here we got our toilet. So let's put this in here, this ensuite, as they call it. Let's drag that up, move this over, move this over. It's got the same line, well, really, the bathroom, the shower does. So I'm going to copy it like this. I'll do that. This one should end right around here because it's really just like a hallway. Let's do this. Let's move that window over. Drag this room over to the left. There we go. All right, and that's okay. So this is the shower. This does not have any sort of windows or anything like that. Actually, it does. It does because there's a garden, so it's got a big window there. So that's important to include. Yeah, it's kind of a large window. So we do need to include that. It is definitely relevant. The shower is longer than that hallway. Yeah, so we got a shower and a toilet. So let's talk about internal loads. There's no refrigerator. Yeah, okay, all right, let's leave it the way it is. It's good. Okay. Then we need to finish out this walk-in closet and this this powder room. So let's copy this guy. Let's bring it over here. Just like that. All right. Let me bring this over here. There we go. Perfect. And then copy this guy here. Bring it over here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to treat all of this as one room. So no windows. Here we got a tiny little window. All right, so you can see here that I just, I put in this small tiny little window. This is that walk-in closet, right? So walk-in closet. This was the foyer. No, sorry, we got a powder room. Right? We got a powder room, shower. This was like this en suite, they called it. I never heard that term before, en suite. This was the actual, we'll call it a tub room. Tub. Okay. All right, then they have this large foyer with the stairs that goes up. We're not going to do the second floor. No, maybe we'll do a part 2, all right, for this video. It ends kind of right around there, up to here like that. Yeah, that's perfect. And we can see here that we've got a large door, okay, plus 2 windows on the side. Yeah, and it's the size of the dining room. Perfect. So let's put in here a large door. It's really quite large. Yeah, 5 feet wide. It really is quite large. And let's define the door. Looking at the pictures, it's kind of fancy and luxurious. All right, here we go. I don't know if that's wood or metal. That is larger than 5 feet. Wow, that is really large. Let's go and widen that up. That's a massive door. The plan seems to show windows here, even though the pictures don't. We'll stick with what the plan shows, that there's windows there. We'll put in these small, tiny little windows, all right? And I know that these windows are they're going to be like tall and skinny type. So let's set these properties. These are probably like, 8 foot tall. So that means 2 foot overhang. Good. And then this one, same thing. So it's like a 8 foot tall. No, oops. Head height is 2 feet. Height is 8 feet. Very good. The door. Let's specify the door. We are going to say that it. I don't know. Let's go with solid wood panel. No. Wood solid core. Sure. And the door actually is on the top left. So opening is top left. There we go. All right. That's more like it. Then we've got this kitchen and pantry area. I'm going to throw it all in as one kitchen. One room to incorporate all of it as just one large kitchen pantry. Especially, and the reason for that is that it's open anyway. Okay? It's got all open air everywhere. That's why I'm doing it that way. Also because I know that there's a limitation as to the number of rooms I can specify in this software. So this is the foyer, and this is the kitchen plus pantry. All right. Do I see windows? I actually think it's a little strange. They don't seem to show any windows anywhere in the kitchen. It's possible, especially because they've got cupboards here. I will say that's going to make for quite a dark kitchen. It's going to rely on a lot of electrical lighting. Now, because this is a kitchen, we need to go in and specify some of the room details, right, for the occupation. So this is a kitchen. And we're going to say it's a large. So it's got two fridges, a dishwasher, a range, and all that stuff, right? So we're going to say okay that it's got 2,000 BTU load, right? 2,000 BTUs per hour as a load. Okay. Um, oh, when we didn't. Okay, so the master bedroom will get 2 occupants. When we get to the other bedrooms, we will need to specify the way it is. It's typically, excuse me, it's typically 1 occupant per bedroom, plus 2 in the master. Okay, let's look over here. We see we've got a mud room and a mechanical room. That's usually where you've got air handlers and other stuff like that for the home. Okay, so let's finish that up here. Okay, actually, let's make it smaller. Let's do it like this. And it's not quite as wide as the kitchen. It's set back a little bit. Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, that's good to me. I like that. No, it's 10 feet, so this should be one. Whoa. There we go, 10 feet. Okay. And we're going to call this the mudroom laundry. Mud room plus mech as the mechanical room. Okay. And we've got a window here. Let's grab this guy. Small window. We have a garage. That is very important. So we do need to include here a garage. The garage is certainly not going to be included in the calculation, so we're going to say no. And we're going to call this the garage. Garage. Okay, and because that room is connected to the garage, we've got 2 doors here. So we've got a door and another door right here. Come on, what's going on? All right, let's just put a door here. All right, perfect. Very good. I actually need to experiment with something for a second. Let's say I include this in the calculations. I'll say yes. What does that do to my, I'm looking here at my total load, so 161,000. Now let's go back and let's say no, this is not included. What does that do to this load? Okay, so it definitely affects the load. But there's another important factor, which is that garages are usually not insulated, and so it's going to cause extra load on the mudroom and the mechanical room. So one way to do this would be to simply not include the garage at all, and to say that treat this just like that as an exterior wall. And this, yeah, let's do that. That's a little bit more conservative. Okay, and we got the casita. I'm not going to include here the casita in this calculation. All right, so this is what we have. We've got a house, the bottom floor. Sorry, I had to pause the video. There's a loud airplane flying overhead. Okay, so we've got our house, the bottom floor of our house. In a follow-up video, we'll get into how to do second floor and things like that. But let's just take a quick look at the worksheet, okay? So for the entire house, we see that it's a 1,940 square foot home. Let's compare that against what they say here. Yeah, sounds about right. They say there's a total of 3461 square feet. On the main floor, it's 2397, which includes the casita and the mechanical room. Because I didn't include the casita, so I would expect it to be a little bit less than 2397, which it is. It's 1940 square feet. Okay. Now we're going to look here. Okay. Um, um, at the heat load and cooling load calculations, and we see that we need 146, nearly 147,000 BTUs per hour for heating and 80,000 for cooling. The next step would be to use the tool here, this Wrightsoft toolbar. When we go and select our equipment, and then after that we would talk about the ducting for the home. All right, thanks for hanging in there. This is a little bit of a long video, but this would be a sort of a detailed calculation using Wrightsoft to do the manual J calculation. Thank you very much. Have a great day.